Hello and welcome to this week's Twin Flame card reading. So let's get started. And we start, as always, with the Divine Feminine. And this week we have Impatient as the first card that comes up. And of course, I know this feeling so well. There seems to be so much happening within us and our healing and all of the things we're exploring and learning and growing in. And yet, when we look to our union or our twin flame, it just seems like nothing is shifting over there. And it can really lead to impatience because we're imagining that something should be different. So, I'd like to reassure you that actually everything you're doing, all the love you're giving yourself, everything you're inputting, investing into your union, your harmonious union, actually stays with you. It stays with your heart, it stays with God, and you can never ever lose that. So that is definitely being paid into your union and the love that you hold there. So you can't lose anything. And what you see on the outside is just really a reflection of places yet to heal, places yet to move the energy forward. Impatience can actually be a little bit of a sneaky ego move because ego will try and tell you that something is wrong, it's not going quickly enough, it's not going smoothly enough, nothing's happening. And of course, that leads to this sort of pushing energy where we try and push to make things happen. And that actually slows things down. So I'd like to encourage you to relax, to surrender. Surrender is a really big part of the journey. It's about trust. And so anytime we're impatient, we're not trusting the process. And of course, the process is divine. Nothing we can do about it. We cannot control it. We cannot change it. We can only move forward at the pace that we're able to. And that's different for everyone. And it's different paces depending upon what you're working on at that specific time. Sometimes we're moving through lighter upsets. Sometimes we're moving through heavier energy. So be patient, be kind to yourself. That's a big lesson this week, I think, probably for both of you in your union. So let's have a look at the next card that comes up. It is the very beautiful aligned card. I really love this card because obviously, who doesn't love alignment? And alignment means being in the flow of love, connected in your heart to love and peace, to forward movement. So, of course, moving out of that impatient energy into flowing, going along with the journey with love. And love will always take you in the right direction. If you're choosing love, you will always move forward into love. You cannot choose love and then move forward and find yourself going in the opposite direction. Any difficult feelings coming up when you choose love is simply the next piece to heal. Right? It's a bit like clearing out a cupboard. You want the cupboard clean, but you're going to make a mess before it gets tidied up. It doesn't mean you're not tidying the cupboard. It means it's in process. It's underway. So that's a bit like our journey too. Don't expect a really neat, tidy, straight line between here and your union. It's going to be wiggly. It's going to be messy, and be okay with that. Just be in alignment and let everything just flow. Let all your emotions flow. Let the journey flow. And this is what we're looking for. So that's what you're focusing on to move through that impatient energy. The third card, Divine Feminines, is the Karmic Family card. So without reading that writing there, which may or may not be helpful, but really for me, what this means is that you have connections to family or people close to you that might be pulling at your energy in some way. They might be in a connection with you that may not be healthy. It might be connected to codependency. It might be asking more of you than really you're meant to be giving. And, maybe look at the family dynamic around you, whether it's your own marriage, partner, family, or whether it's, mum and dad or relatives. So who have you got around you? What kind of relationships or dynamics do you have with them? And how do you feel about that? Explore that. Doesn't mean we get rid of family, doesn't mean we ignore them or leave them behind. It simply means just get clear on what the dynamic is and do your best to bring in a healthier connection there. If you need to place boundaries with people, if you feel they're overstepping the mark, asking too much of you, you can always do that. That's just healthy human dynamics. And sometimes people don't like it when we say, oh, I used to spend hours and hours helping you, but these days I need to go off and live my life and do something for myself. And just trusting that everybody is taken care of, everybody is loved by God, everybody is a child of God, everybody has access to what they need, that you're not the source for people. And you're not the source for yourself either. That is God's job. And your job is to take care of yourself, prioritize yourself. That is not selfishness. Selfishness means to expect others to do it for you. That's the definition of selfishness. So selfishness is not taking care of yourself. It's quite the opposite. Perfect. So now let's check out the divine masculine this week. And of course, you're both in the same energies. It's just sometimes it shows up a bit differently on the masculine side. So we start with the soul searching card. So it's a rather dark card. The man is looking down here. It's a very internalized feeling that I pick up on from this card. Soul searching really means just going within to look for answers, going to God, going to your heart, connecting with your feelings. That's something we do want to see from both of you, because that's where you'll find your connection to love. You'll find your connection to your inner compass, which is so vital for this journey. We have to learn to follow our hearts to be able to move forward. So I'm really glad to see the divine masculine is doing that. So let's see where that's taking him this week. See what other clues we have here. So we've got comfort zone, which is clearly indicating that perhaps the masculine is a little comfortable where they're at. Maybe they're a little resistant to leave behind the known, leave behind the familiar. But they are taking time to look into their heart and see what's going on there. So there's a little bit of a mixture of I want things to stay the same because I'm comfortable that way, and I am feeling my heart, I am feeling my feelings, I am looking for answers, I am connecting within. So let's see what the outcome is of this inner connection to self whilst also trying to hold on to comfort. And we end up, poor masculines, we end up with the chaos card. And of course, look at where the man is placing his fingers to his head. And what this always reminds me of is too much mental activity, too much thinking about things. Now, when we soul search, when we look within, we don't want to go up here because we're going to end up worrying round and round and round in thoughts. And it's easy for ego to come and pull us into some painful thought. What we want to do is drop down into the heart. So it might be that the masculine is experiencing some chaos that's causing you to go to your heart and soul search, but maybe you're sort of staying in between your heart and your mind. Maybe there's a little bit of lack of clarity there, and then maybe you're just choosing to relax and try and zone out. So there's a little bit of balancing going on there, and that's okay. So that ties in well with the impatience and the checking in regarding healthy relationships that the feminine is doing at the moment. So everything's a work in progress. Be patient with yourselves. A lot of inner work happens to bring about a union. It's a really deep getting to know yourself. It's so hard to explain, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. We are very different people when we've spent time truly healing deeply And the peace that you develop within yourself is amazing. It's true peace, true peace. It's worth every minute. I highly recommend it. I was not at peace before, but I am now. So now let's take a look at the union cards. First one we have is surrender to wonder and awe. That's a beautiful sign that the divine is all around you. It's just up to you to notice that it's here. So let's read what it says on the card. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And I love that. We brought in, didn't we, that aligned card with the waterfall. And it really just reminds me of, connect to the awe that we find in nature, in everything around us. And that also reminds me of stepping out of that chaos and into the connection with our heart. But rather than that being a dark internalizing, let it be a bright, wonderful connection to the awe of love that exists within you. Beautiful. And then the next card, which is so pretty, it's Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin. And she stands for mercy and compassion. And the card here says enlightened action. Very peaceful card, very soft. Choose compassion, move forward with grace. So no matter where you are on your journey, you always have a choice to move forward compassionately and gracefully. Be humble, be open, be surrendered. Go with what is. You're always being guided perfectly. There's nothing we can do about the journey. We may as well relax into it. And then the last card for you here today is mistakes. And I think this is a really important card to come up. Allow me to know it's okay to make mistakes. Let me always take care of the inner child so he or she feels loved no matter what. The truth is that only love is real. So mistakes are really just an illusion. You're always with love. You cannot change love. You cannot reduce it or take it away. It's always present. So step out of the illusion, bring your beliefs out of the illusion, and be compassionate with yourself for having believed them. And then you can rest and feel peaceful and aligned. So I hope you've enjoyed the reading this week. I know I have, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.